Today, we're going to talk about the topic that only I could talk about because I'm willing to embrace the cringe and have somewhat authority in this topic. It's about being slightly famous in this day and age. If 2023, everyone is trying to be famous. You and your mom both have TikTok, and everyone could be famous because virality is no longer limited solely by connections or how good looking you are, how talented you are. You can become famous over the stupidest things, over the stupidest memes. To explain who I am and how slightly famous I am, for those that don't know me, my name is Brian. I have a 25,000-ish YouTube channel, which you are watching here. I have a 11,000-ish following on Twitter for being an NFT influencer and platform runner. I have a TikTok with one video that went viral with over 1 million views. So I am in the perfect realm of slightly but not really famous, where people probably somewhat recognize my face. I get kind of almost close to 1 million impressions on YouTube a month, meaning that 1 million different people or 1 million different times, people at least see my thumbnail. I've been recognized on the street, obviously not of crazy fanfare, people are following me, but if I go to the street, someone might look at me and say, "You're that guy from YouTube," or "You've talked about investment banking. I think I know you," to the far extreme of, "Oh, you're Brian. I've followed you for a while. I don't really watch you anymore because you're not relevant." That's the kind of level of fame or being known that I've personally experienced. In terms of NFT stuff, the world of NFTs, to explain really shortly, most people have their own NFT as their profile picture, so people only know each other through their monkey pictures or their ape pictures, gorilla pictures, their tiger pictures. Oh my. I did this strategic thing where I put my own face, my own profile picture, as my Twitter profile picture, which is very insanely uncommon. I would say out of the total number of NFT influencers, 0.00001% has this. At some point last year in the fall, where the platform that I worked for blew up, I became somewhat relevant. And in this ranking NFT inspect thing of Twitter NFT influencers, I was number one for being one of the most influential people in the NFT sphere. So a lot of NFT people have seen my face. This is kind of important, kind of funny, because when you go to NFT events, a lot of these people want to recognize people so that they don't feel awkward and they want to talk to people, to which dismay, they face people in a room full of people where they don't recognize anyone because they only know them through these NFT faces, and they happen to recognize a familiar face, which is me. I'm not that famous within the NFT world, somewhat famous in the Solana world. Long story short, if you're in the NFT world, you've probably seen my face at some point through my profile picture or through my pictures. And because I stand out, because most of these NFT people don't post their own pictures, I am somewhat famous there. It is this everlasting feeling of unease and not enough because no one is actually famous, including myself, because everyone wants to be famous. I think there's now two large buckets of fame within this world, where there's the DiCaprio, upmost Robert Downey Jr., Barack Obama level fame, where everyone knows you and you're the elite and you didn't get fame through virality. You have actually built your career at least on something. And then you have the TikTok famous, where niche people know you might have a lot of views, but people actually don't really recognize you because there's just so much of it. The entertainment / TikTok content meme world is flooding with content that all have millions of views. So you forget and keep track. There's thousands of micro influencers, including myself, that have gotten 3 seconds of fame, and people might recognize you. People might remember you, but you're not taking up mental real estate to an insane level in people's heads. As someone, out of the three things that I think men actively sought out for, which is money, power, and fame, I am of the fame era. I do like fame. I think I get a high off of fame. And I'm shocked by people who say they don't want to be famous. I'm going to be very open and say, when people come and ask me for a picture or ask who I am, which is obviously not very frequent, but does happen a couple times a month, I get excited because someone is recognizing me for my work. I think the reverse here is that I don't put an insane amount of work or effort into these videos, so I probably don't feel as accomplished as someone that could be making a very high quality video, making movies, making scripts, and then get recognized for it for their actual hard work. It's this weird era where fame and viewpoints and being recognized is not directly correlated to the amount of work or hours or effort, even talent that you put in, so it becomes cheap. It feels cheap. It's kind of like how money feels cheap at times if you're a Dogecoin or Poopcoin millionaire. when it comes to slight fame, I think there comes this point, maybe I'm crazy, where you wish there was just a bit more. When you get recognized on the streets, maybe one time a week, then you wish you get recognized again because it's not to the level of overwhelmingness. You can go into any restaurant and 99% of the time people won't recognize you. And it's one of those cool things where you're walking with a friend or maybe a girl you want to impress and someone says, yo, you're that guy from YouTube. Of course, you're going to get a sudden form of confidence boost at the time, but it's never enough. And it's also not in the flip side of uncomfortable level where you are Justin Bieber and you're being followed 24/7 and you're being harassed and you can't go into any public places. That never happens to you and probably will never happen to you unless you go to the top. And I think there's this weird feeling of fame or virality or importance dilution because you're starting at this low place and you're building it up. I think DiCaprio, for example, or Downey Jr., yes, they had probably the hardships. I don't know them specifically, but actors that are famous right now had those hard times where they were minor cast roles or whatever. But once they became boom and became Timothy Chalamet level where they're in every movie, there was no build up in between of slight fame, middle fame, high fame, and then insane fame. They probably just blew up where the entire world knows them now. Whereas micro influencers are just fighting for scraps. And I think we're entering this age where everyone kind of wants this shot at fame and everyone has this shot at fame, which makes it all the more dangerous because fame in itself is now a devalued currency or utility. I, for one, really do want to get famous in whatever shape or form. I think I do have a knack for slightly getting famous, but don't know how to hold it and bring it to the top. I wish I had that platform. Looking to get that platform in some shape or form probably require higher effort from me or maybe quitting my full-time job to go into this. I do think that there is a toxic culture revolving around the next generation. So the current teens who really are doing whatever it takes to be famous and partaking in dangerous challenges or doing things that they really should not be doing or partaking in things like OnlyFans, which I personally am against, and just doing whatever it takes to get the views, get fame, get recognized. And yes, it's good if there's utility that comes out of that, whether it be career progression or money. But if it's solely just to get fame, I don't know if there's a point in that, and it can become very toxic to who you are. And fame is not easily curated; it's not easily earned, and at many times it's random and timing. As someone who's slightly tasted fame as much as a normal human being can get, I feel proud of it. It's still fun. I'm still gonna chase the clout as long as I'm young enough to not seem lame doing it. But I don't recommend it per se. It's not the best feeling at the end of the day. There's always an empty hole at the end of it. And it's not something that's sustainable and it only comes in waves or perhaps once in your life. And you don't know how to maintain it unless you have a system for it. And once you maintain it and blow up, there's going to be consequences. I hope this word blurt about being slightly famous was interesting. I hope that it convinces you to either really chase fame on a professional, more effortful level or makes you give up on it because you realize that it's not that great. As always, thank you guys for watching. Keep those views up. If you guys see me on the streets, obviously say hi because it's going to boost my confidence for the day. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Let's go.